Yeah, from Dallas, Texas, and I worked in the fly fishing industry in Dallas, back in Texas, all through college for the most part. And the background is that I just grew up in East Texas bass fishing my whole life. So I found my way out to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, where that's just like one of the meccas of fly fishing in the fly fishing industry, trout fishing, river fishing, fly fishing. So a lot of people, when you think of fly fishing, you think of the Snake River in Jackson, Wyoming. And then found my way to Georgia, and really good fishing community there as well. A lot of freshwater fishing, trout, bass, and you're only 3.5 hours from the coast. At the same time fishing, I was still practicing artwork, still trying to get better, doing fish paintings for people. So when I got to Georgia, I set my sights on Charleston as far as the Seaweed Show. Got accepted a lot sooner than I thought I would. I thought it would be one of those things that would take me like 5 or 6 years, but the first year, when I was still kind of trial and error trying to figure some things out, I got accepted, which really scared me actually, because I didn't think it was going to happen that quickly. I wasn't quite ready for it, but I did it, and it was unlocked the whole Charleston thing to me, and fell in love from the second I started hanging out here, doing the art show, fishing here, have a lot of friends here. Yeah, so this is oil painting of a redfish that we see here in Charleston. It's the most typical fish you'd fish for here as far as a game fish. Underwater scene, these are very challenging. I've tried to do more of them recently, but every now and then you really have to get the muster up to do them, because they definitely challenge me a lot. And this is more similar to the journal entry type of deal. And this is just kind of a thought I came up with about redfish, and just I wanted to kind of keep it that journal-y, kind of messy, vibrant feel. And that's a tailing redfish that we see here a lot in Charleston. That's essentially what I moved here for, is to see those things anytime I wanted to. I try to make a point when I go on a fishing trip, or even locally, going fishing with a buddy, to already have some sort of drawing on the piece of paper. So what I do after that is, when I come back with a thought from a fishing day, I kind of write that story around the drawing, compared to, you know, coming back and just having a blank page. I always try to have something ready for that thought or saying, and it usually has something to do with the trip that I'm on. And I come back from the fishing that day, and I'll write the story about the fishing trip. It's funny because my handwriting is terrible. Almost so messy that you can't really tell what it says, but it's funny because it's kind of put together with this drawing that is obtainable in your mind as far as what it is, but the writing is so sloppy. So it kind of has this funny kind of just combination of different things going on. So this is out of a book from 1910. Actually, it's called, 110 years ago is what I called it, because it's an excerpt called Tarpon. And it's just, he's writing about how amazing the fishing was in this one spot in Florida. And the whole idea is, if you read it, you would read it and see that it's nothing like that anymore, like in these spots. Like, he used to just go and see just hundreds and thousands of tarpon. And it's just kind of a sad thing that, just from pollution and different just environmental impacts, that the fish, and just people fishing for them, and the fishing just isn't quite like that way it used to be. But it was just kind of an ode to the history of tarpon fishing. Yeah, you know, it's the one thing that's made me a better artist in the last 5-6 years is doing those journal entries, because I'm not trying so much to make perfect lines. There's no perfect lines. I used to sit there with a pencil and you'd erase the perfect line, but when you start doing things like that in pen and Sharpies and things you can't erase, you're committed to that line and you have to work with it. And making something good out of something that started maybe not so well just makes you a better artist and makes you work through the problem.
If you could describe your art in one word, what do you think that would be?
I was about to say controlled chaos, but that's 2 words. So I've always tried to get that combination of the controlled with the chaos, and try to mesh it where there's a lot of imperfections, but from back here you can't really see that until you kind of get closer. I like mistakes. For some reason it all comes together and creates this perfect thing that I like a lot.